Okay, we're going to take a look at how to set up this Modicon 984 controller. So the first thing you need is you need a couple of items. You need right here a COM cable, and this needs to be a crossover cable. So this is a COM-to-COM crossover cable. Do not use it straight through, or you're going to be in trouble. The next thing is you need an older operating system. You need Windows XP Service Pack 2. You have XP Service Pack 3. It won't work. I don't actually have XP Service Pack 3, so I dug around and I found a Windows 98, but it's going to work just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to go ahead and to explore, and I'm just going to go right into the ModSoft directory. And here I got ModSoft and Light ModSoft Lite. I just run ModSoft Lite, and it's just an executable file here. Then I'm going to go ahead and run. I don't run it with any parameters, and there it's going to pull up. All right. And so now at this point, I'm going to get rid of my mouse because it's kind of easier to use the keyboard. So what we can do is we can set this up offline right here. So I go offline. I'm going to do new program, and I'll call it test 2. Okay, so there you go, test 2 minutes programs. And I'm just going to go through here. Address, I'm going to use Modbus 1. That's where I'm plugged into, is Modbus 1 right there. So I come back up here, and I'm not going to change in this. I think I'm in COM 2. That's critical of whether you're in COM 1 or COM 2. So I'm going to go right there. Okay. Now this is always the hard part here. I come to the screen. I don't really want this, so I'm going to hit escape on the keyboard. Creating first network. Now we can go ahead and create a network. Let's go ahead and do that. No, let's not do that. Let's do a no on that one. Because do you want to enter the configure? No, let's do that. So all we did is we've created a new program, but it's not really set up. So let's see if I can go to tools. No, maybe I should select that program. Sorry, test 2. Let's try it again. Create first network. Yes, we'll do it. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to get to F8 tools right there. So if I click F8 tools, and then I get this right here, and I want to configure it F5. Let's see if I can do that. F5. That looks good. I need the overview. So if I slide over to overview, I need the PLC type, and I'll pick the PLC type. This is a compact, and this is 145 right there. So I'm going to get that. All I/O map is cleared. Enter. Okay. Now let's try and do the I/O map. If I click this, there we go. Now I'm going to set the I/O up. So notice I have the 984 in slots 1 and 2, and 103 is empty. So if I come to my item right here, this is 1 and 2. This is the PLC. 3 is my power supply. Now this right here is my analog inputs and outputs, and I'm not going to mess with that. I need to move over to the second group of 5. So if I come back up to here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to page down. I hit page down, and now I'm at the 201, the 202, etc. So if I go to the 201 right here, I got a DEO 216, a DEO 216. So if I come back here and I hit the question mark like that, I'm looking for DEO 216. Slide over DEO 216 right there. Now that's my input module. Now inputs have to start with a 1. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and if I click enter, that gives me my first 16 inputs. Now I go to the next one right here, and I see I have a DAP 216. That's my outputs. So I'm going to come right back up here. I'm going to hit shift question mark, and I'm looking for DAP 216. And there it is right there. And my outputs just go in as 1 like that. Okay. So at this point, I'm all set up. I've got my processor picked and my I/O. Let me hit escape and see if I can get back to here. Hit escape again. And I guess I am here. I can program online or offline, but let's just hit escape again. And so, you know, I created this program offline, but now I want to do is let's see if I can transfer this file to the PLC. Here we go. And it was test 2. And stop controller, yes. Now, if you don't get this, it means that you didn't use a crossover cable or that you didn't set your COM port right. It needs to be COM 1 or 2. So stop controller, yes. And it takes a little while, but there it goes. Start controller, yes. Enter. And I transferred this over to the PLC. All right, and it usually at this point, you know, I'm pretty good to go to program away. But what I like to do is I'm gonna hit escape again. I've transferred the file to PLC, but I want to just go online. So let's just go online. You can use direct to PLC because I transferred it, or if you were to select program, you could have selected your program and ran through. But basically, I put my program on the PLC, so I don't need to select program, and at which point it would transfer it. I'll go to direct to PLC, and it's on COM2, and so I'm just going to go online to COM2. Now, let's just do a little program. So I put in keyboard shortcuts for you of how to do this, but let's just go to Elements, F3. Let's see if that pulls up. Might be a little bit slow. Where is it? Okay, there we go. I want Relays, F1. And let's just do a Contact, F1. Remember, there's shortcut keys that I gave you. And I said my input start with 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Enter. And I think it's the equal sign, gives us some ladder here. Let's put a coil in at F5. F5. And we said outputs were 1. So I'm online right now. So I'm going to go ahead over to, and I'm going to click the first input button on my thing. And you'll see that as I click the input, it's coming on. And if I come over here and I look at this and I click this, I'm getting an input here and I'm getting an output there. And you can just program away online. If you wanted to turn on 2 instead, you just change that to 2. And then notice when I come over here and I click this input, instead of being 1 and 1 turning on here, when I click this button on, it turned on the second output. Okay, and then so once again, I sent you some a little cheat sheet of how to get contacts and coils in there very quickly. So that was a quick run through of how to get this set up. Got to have a crossover cable. Got to be sure you're in the COM port, and possibly just a couple of other quick things that could be an issue. I did have my memory protect down, and I had this set to default, the switch up. And so once I move forward in this, I could always just go online using default instead of going online and setting and doing that. And you do that through here, just hitting escape again. Do you want to leave online? Yes. And that's where you go to offline and change your PLC address. So once again, I did Modbus 1, but once you got this thing saved, you could always click default. But Modbus 1 works, and you got to be sure you're on the correct COM right there when you set this up. So there's a little bit of navigation for you. Good luck.